Welcome everyone for today's Bhagavad Gita class. Today we are going to read chapter number 5 from Bhagavad Gita. We are going to learn from chapter number 5 of Bhagavad Gita. We have been reading Bhagavad Gita one chapter every week. Every Saturday we cover one chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And as of last week, we covered 4 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So in next 5 to 10 minutes, we'll revise those chapters and then we'll continue with the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We are following Bhagavad Gita as it is, translated by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of International Society of Krishna Consciousness. The purpose of our Bhagavad Gita study, sorry, I got disconnected and I'm going to connect again. There is some technical error at my end, so I'm going to join you within a second here. One second. I have a connection issue, so I'm going to join you 1 second in back. There was a connection problem. So can you all see me and hear me? There was a connection issue here. So I think we are back online and everything is good. Looks like our connection was a little bit disconnected, but we are back online. So thank you so much. Is everything okay now? Yes? Thank you so much. Yes, so everything is good now. So we will proceed further. Internet issue is always there. So before we begin, I'd like to pay respects to my teacher, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. He is my guru. And I will also like to pay respects to A.C. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who translated this Bhagavad Gita from Sanskrit to English for us. The purpose of our study of Bhagavad Gita is try to learn basics of Bhagavad Gita, try to understand the meaning of some of the important shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, and how do we apply the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita in our daily life, in the practical life. That is the main objective of our Bhagavad Gita study, that how can I use the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita so it becomes practical rather than a theoretical knowledge. So, as all of you know, the background of Bhagavad Gita is a complete book of yoga where Lord Krishna is instructing Arjuna about different types of yoga. So, it's like a yoga ladder. Bhagavad Gita is a yoga ladder. In first few chapters, Lord Krishna is instructing Arjuna about Sankhya Yoga, which is also part of Gnana Yoga, first 2 chapters. Then Lord Krishna explains about Karma Yoga. So from chapter number 3 to chapter number 5, Lord Krishna instructs Arjuna about Karma Yoga. Then chapter number 6, Lord Krishna explains about Ashtanga Yoga. And then onwards, Lord Krishna explains about the Bhakti Yoga. So first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord is called as Arjuna Vishada Yoga, where Arjuna is lamenting, Arjuna is depressed, Arjuna is nervous, and he is not able to decide what to do in his life. What should be the next step? He is confused. And he breaks down in front of Krishna and he says that I cannot make the decision. Oh Krishna, you please guide me. You become my teacher. And then Lord Krishna starts instructing Arjuna about how to overcome problems in our daily life, how to overcome difficulties in our life, how to overcome depression, how to overcome anxiety, how to overcome all routine problems in our life. We face all these problems every single day. Decision making is very important. We always make a decision whether to buy something or whether to sell something, whether to make a friendship with somebody or not, whether to attend a class or not, whether to see a movie or not. And there are so many things. What food should we eat? What we should not eat? There are so many small, small things in the life which we need to think about, decide about. And Lord Krishna instructs about all those things. So, Bhagavad Gita is literally a user manual. User manual means that whenever we buy an equipment, instrument, it comes with a troubleshooting manual, how to use, how to operate. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita is a manual which teaches us how to live this life happily without any misery, without any lamentation, as well as it also teaches us about how to troubleshoot the problems in our daily life. We might have a relationship problem, we might have a work related problem, we may have a problem related with our family. So many things are there. So all these problems can be resolved if we understand Bhagavad Gita. And that is what Lord Krishna is explaining to Arjuna. So when Arjuna starts lamenting and he's not able to decide what should be the next step, should he proceed further with the war or not, whether he should fight against his own family and friends. Uh, and then Lord Krishna says, "Hey Arjuna, one of the reason for your confusion is that you do not know who you are, what is your duty." So he instructs Arjuna about Sankhya Yoga. And he says that even though you might be thinking yourself as a body, you are much more than the body. You are composed of mind, soul, and super soul. That is there. This are all there within our existence. Our existence is we are spirit soul, we are Atma. And then there is a body, which is made up of this muscle, blood, all the tissue organs, like that. So that is our body. And then there is a subtle body, which is a mind. And then there is a Paramatma within us. So there is super soul within all of us. Super soul means um, it's like a source of everything is there within us. We call it as Paramatma, Narayan, Govinda, Krishna, Vishnu. There are different names, but that is super soul. The Paramatma is there within all of us. And then Lord Krishna instructs him. It's just like a chariot. We are traveling in this body. So here is all these five senses: eyes, nose, ears, tongue, belly, genitals. Then this is mind. Mind is controlled by the intelligence, and then the passenger is the soul. And then we continuously pass in this body, from boyhood to youthhood to old age, and then we die. The body dies actually, we don't die. So as soon as the body dies, the soul goes into another body. We get another body, another birth. And then we undergo the same process: birth, disease, old age, death. 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 So every time we get another life, we go through the same cycle. In this life, we are humans. Next life, I don't know what we will be. As per our karmas and as per our desires, we change our body. Changing of the body is compulsory. Nobody can stay in this body forever. You might be a millionaire, or you might be having a lot of money, a lot of education, a lot of titles, a lot of degrees, but you cannot remain in this body forever. That is the eternal truth. So change of the body is compulsory. But then there are two types of bodies. One body is called as material body, which we have. So we have the body which grows, then it becomes old, and then we die. And then throughout this change, we suffer. There are sometimes problems caused by environment, problems caused by some living entity. Like we are all currently going through a big problem, which is called as coronavirus. Then sometimes after a few years, there'll be another virus, another bacteria, something else will come up. Then if not that, then some terrorist will attack. Or if that not, then some hurricane will come, or earthquake will come, or storms will come. Or if not, then the financial market will collapse. So something or other is going to happen. And if not, then our mind will trouble us. Mind will give you a lot of headache. Your mind will undergo depression, anxiety, stress, all those problems caused by our relatives, family, friends. So again, every life we go through this. I mean, nobody is immune to this problem because we have this body which is called as material body. However, Lord Krishna gives us better information. He says that there is possibility of you getting another body which is a spiritual body, which means that which will have no disease, no old age, no death. And instead of living in this world which is full of problems, dukhalayam ashashvatam, there is a better world, better place where you can live, which is called a spiritual world. And there is a process to acquire that position. That process is Lord Krishna explaining in Bhagavad Gita, that how do we get out of repeated cycle of these problems and how do we become eternally happy, right? How many of you want to be happy uh, once a day? If I make you give you a choice that you become happy once a day for 10 minutes, or 1 hour a day for 10 minutes, or one every second of the day, you want to be happy. Or if you want to be happy just one, every time, rather than 1 minute or 10 minutes or 1 hour, Krishna says, I'm going to give you a formula by which instead of being happy for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I want to be happy all the second, every second of my life, I want to be joyful. Sometimes we are happy when we are watching movie or we are watching, say, a TV show, or we are having some good food, or we are in a company with the friends. We are happy. Then again, the stress comes up, right? So our happiness is like comes and goes, or we call gap between the two problems or two miseries happiness. We feel that gap with which we call happiness. So we are not happy all the time. So Krishna is saying to Arjuna, hey Arjun, I'm going to tell you a formula by which you can be always happy, right? So that is what Lord Krishna is explaining now. And for that, the first step is to understand that our happiness is not dependent on the body, because we are not body, we are spirit soul. So if you really want to seek happiness, that happiness has to be a spiritual happiness, because that is our real identity. We are Atma, and somehow or other we have to make that Atma happy. So while with the body, what we do? With the body we do karma. So how we can associate karma, how can we do karma on the spiritual platform, on the platform of Atma? So currently we are doing all our karmas on the platform of body, Sharira, which means when I do something, I say that I am doing it, and I am doing it for my benefit, so that I should get all the credits. Huh? So instead of working on the platform of body, now Lord Krishna is saying you start acting on the body platform of soul, Atma. So here in second chapter, Lord Krishna says, Karmanni eva dikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karmafal heturbhur mate sangostava karmani. So first of all, he's saying is that you act it, you do all your karmas, whatever you need to do as a doctor, as an engineer, as a philosopher, as a scientist, as a teacher, as a father, as a mother. But you do it without any expectation of the results. Because the day you start expecting the results, and if you do not get the desired results, then you become anxious, stressful, frustrated. So Arjuna was frustrated, Arjuna was stressful because he was worrying about the results. So he's saying first step is do your work, but then do not worry about the results. Huh? Then he explains about Karma Yoga. Then he explains more about that. So first step is understanding that not to act on the platform of body, but act on the platform of soul, and with act without worrying about the results. Karmanye eva dikaraste ma phaleshu kadachan. Then he says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 3, he introduces the principle of Karma Yoga. And what is he saying? He says that yagnartha karmano anyatra loko yam karma bandhana tad artham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. So he's saying, hey Arjun, you perform work without expecting any results, but at the same time, you do work as a sacrifice. Yajna. You do work as a sacrifice for Vishnu, for Krishna. Otherwise, the work will cause bondage. My dear Arjun, one who does not follow in the human life the cycle of sacrifice thus established by Vedas, it leads life full of sin, living only for the satisfaction of senses. Such person lives in vain. So here Lord Krishna introduces principle of karma with detachment, acting or performing all your duties as a sacrifice for Krishna or Vishnu. So we say, I'm doing this, but I'm doing it because I want to use this as a sacrifice for Vishnu, or this is my yajna for Vishnu. So today we are reading Bhagavad Gita. This is called as Gita Yajna. Gita Yajna means performing our, sacrificing our time for study of Bhagavad Gita. So we are doing Gita Yajna today. Now, when you are doing, say, you're cooking some food, and you cook the food, offer it to Krishna and distribute to all the people around you, whosoever needs the food. That is called an Annadana or a Dana Yajna. That is different sacrifices. But the idea is to work without attachment to the results. And offering it as a sacrifice for Vishnu. Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activity, one should act as a matter of duty. By working without attachment, one attains the supreme. Param apnoti purushaha. So further, to elaborate that principle of sacrifice, in chapter number 4, Lord Krishna explains this sacrifice in detail. And he tells us about Divya Jnana, Jnana Yoga, transcendental knowledge. And we learned this in more detail. But just briefly revising, he mentions to Arjuna, hey Arjun, to understand the sacrifice, first you need to understand 3 things. Karma, Vikarma, and Akarma. Karmano hi api bodhavyam, bodhavyam cha vikarmana, akarmanas cha bodhavyam, gahana karmano gati. Hey Arjun, if you really want to understand all this Karma Yoga, let me tell you one thing, that I'm going to tell you about Karma, I'm going to tell you about Vikarma, and I'm going to tell you about Akarma. And if you understand this, then you will be able to overcome the bondage. And the intricacies of karma are very deep. Sometimes your karma will fructify immediately. Sometimes your karma will take time to get the results. Sometimes you get the result very immediately, next day. If you plant a seed of, say, cilantro, cilantro will grow within a week time. But if you plant a seed of coconut, it will take weeks or months or years to come. So similarly, some of the karmas fructify immediately, while some of the karmas will take months and time. So it's called gahana karmanogati. Intricacies of actions are very, very difficult to understand. So sometimes we say, why bad things happen to good people? Why good things happen to bad people? There are a lot of questions like that. I haven't done anything bad, so why all bad is happening with me? Or I didn't do anything wrong to anybody. Then why I'm going through all this suffering? We have all these questions, and those questions can be answered based upon the principle of Karma Yoga. So then Krishna explains about Vikarma, karma and akarma. So vikarma is work performed against the rules and regulations. It's like a sinful activities. And karma, work performed according to rules and regulations. And akarma is a very, very important principle. Let's understand akarma. So akarma is performing your karma as a sacrifice or yajna for Vishnu. So karma gives you good results. Vikarma gives you bad results. But akarma gives you no results. Zero result. So what happens? So when you have no positive, no negative, your account balance is zero. So in this whole life, if your account balance is zero, then you do not get any material body. Because we get this material body to enjoy or suffering the results of the karma. But now you do not have karma, so you don't have to get any more body. So you are free, you are liberated. So you no more get material body, you get the transform to the spiritual world with spiritual body. So performing karma as a sacrifice for the Lord. So, hey Krishna, I'm cooking today, but I'm not cooking it for myself. I'm cooking it for you. The same thing, cooking is the same. We are not changing our work, but we are changing our consciousness. So we are we are talking to each other, but we are not talking for any material gains. I don't want to get any money from you. You do not want to get any money from me. We are talking here to each other for getting knowledge about Krishna, knowledge about Bhagavad Gita, knowledge about spiritual life. So what we are doing now, we are doing yajna, sacrifice. We are sacrificing our time, sacrificing our life for the knowledge of spirituality. That is called as a karma. So there is no positive, negative in this exchange. What I am going to give and what you are going to take, or what you are going to give and what I am going to take from you. This is all a karma. No exchange of offers here. This is just zero balance here. So whatever the work we do as a sacrifice for Krishna, that results in karma. So we do not get any positive or negative. So we are doing everything for pleasure of Krishna. Then Krishna explains about different types of yajna or sacrifices. First is dravya yajna. Dravya means money. We talked about it last time. If you do not, if you have little more money, give it to somebody who needs it. But performing this yajna, you have to think about Krishna. I'm doing it so that Krishna within the heart of that person will be happy. Krishna is there everywhere. Paramatma is there everywhere. He's there in your heart. He's there in my heart. He's there everywhere. So whenever we are serving Krishna or whenever we are serving anybody else around us, we are serving Krishna, and that consciousness is important. Then we can do yajna of tapa, austerities, like fasting, getting up early in the morning, doing a puja, kirtan, arti, japa, all these are tapa yajna. Then yoga yajna, eightfold of mysticism. Ashtanga yoga system is also yoga yajna. Swadhyaya yajna, sacrifice in the study of Vedas. And gnana yajna, sacrifice in the advancement of transcendental knowledge. So all these yajnas you can perform, but yajnas should be performed not for the material gains. So if you start doing everything for money or material, then that is not yajna. That is business. If I'm going to give some donation to somebody so that I get punya. Punya means karma, good karmas. Or I'm going to help someone. I'm going to give some food or give money or shelter or food, something, so that I get recognized. I want name. I want my title to be there on the hospital. I donate $1 million and I say, okay, I put my name there. So that is not spiritual yajna. That is material yajna. So material yajna, you'll get another body again. But the purpose of all this yajna should be the spiritual advancement. And what is the spiritual advancement? How do I get free from cycle of birth, disease, old age, death? birth, disease, old age, death. How do I get out of this cycle? And the best way to perform any of these yajna is to perform under the guidance. Whenever you take a treatment, you take the treatment under the guidance of a doctor. You don't take treatment just by going to a medical store, pharmacy, and just buy a medicine and you treat yourself. You might land in more trouble. But you take a doctor, take his advice, the medicine will cure you. Similarly, all these yajnas, if you do by yourself whimsically, okay, let's do today's Navratri, so I will do one yajna, then it will not work. We have to work under the guidance of a spiritual master. Like Arjuna is working under the guidance of Lord Krishna, right? So we have to have a spiritual master just like Krishna, or who has been following the disciplic succession of Lord Krishna, or who has understood Bhagavad Gita, who is following the principle of Bhagavad Gita, like that. So that is very important. Then Lord Krishna tells to Arjuna in 4th chapter about renunciation, sannyas. He says, Yoga sannyasta karmana vinana sanchina samshayam atmavantam na karmani nibandanti dhananjaya. He says, hey Arjun, one should act in the devotional service, renouncing all the fruits of action. Renounce means sannyas, yoga sannyasta karmanam. So whatever karma you do, you renounce. Sannyas. What is the sannyas? Renounce the fruits of actions, and whose doubts have been destroyed by the transcendental knowledge situated factually in the self. Thus, he is not bound by the reactions of work, nibandhanti dhananjaya. So when we renounce the fruits of our action, then we get freedom from the bondage. Nibandhanti dhananjaya. Reactions of work is not there when we renounce our fruits of action. And then Krishna says, hey Arjun, now, Ati Uttishta Bharata. Ati Uttishta. Uttishta means stand up, Arjun. Now you fight. I have told you so many things about karma. But can you please now start fighting and performing your karma? Now I have told you about soul, I have told you about karma, I have told you about akarma, I have told you about sacrifice. Can you please now stand up and fight? But Arjuna is asking more questions because he's not clear now. Arjuna is asking all these questions. Actually, Arjuna could have understood probably, but he's asking so that we all get benefit out of it. Bhagavad Gita is a divine conversation, and Arjuna is a representative of all of us. So Arjuna is asking all these questions, and he is saying, hey Krishna, now we are entering the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is Nishkama Karma Yoga. So any person like you or me would have been convinced by Lord Krishna's answer, but Arjuna is very scientific. He wants to know more about all this science of karma, akarma, vikarma, bhakti, and he wants all of us to progress, not just by stopping at the level of karma. We want to go beyond that. So Arjuna asked question that, hey Krishna, Sanyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha samshasi yat shreha etayar ekam tanme bruhi shunistatam. So here Arjuna is saying, hey Krishna, first of all you told me to renounce work, and then again you recommend me to work with devotion. Now kindly tell me definitely which of these two is better. So when Lord Krishna used the word sannyas, Arjuna understood that sannyas means give up everything, go to the forest. Give up your work and go to the forest. And many people understand like that, Sometimes you ask some people, what is dharma, what is religion? People think that religion means to ring the bell, do all the rituals. But that is something more than that. Ritual is spiritual, When you understand those rituals and perform it very nicely, that becomes spiritual actually. So Arjuna couldn't understand, or he could understand, but he's asking more details for more clarification. So he says, "Hey Krishna, you told about sannyas, and what I understand, sannyas is to give up everything and go to the forest. And that is how great sages achieve the peace. And then now you're telling me you work with a sacrifice, with a mood of sacrifice. So you work in my as a devotion to me, as a surrender to me, give up all the results to me. So please tell me what is the difference between this sannyas and giving up these fruits of actions and sacrifice or yajna, and which is better?" So Lord Krishna then tells Arjuna. He tells Arjuna in the second shloka, fifth chapter, Lord Krishna is telling, the renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good for liberation. So there are some people who go to Himalaya and they stay in Himalaya, do meditation, japa, tapa. Some people go to forest. They want to get liberation. So some people give up whatever the work they have, and then they think that giving up the work is good for liberation. If I give up my work, I will be free from all the bondage. I don't have to worry about this family and the business and all those things. But that is not what Krishna wants from us. Krishna says, but of the two, work in devotion is better than renunciation of the work. Krishna doesn't like us to give up our job and just be lazy and make a show bottle of spiritualist. He doesn't want us to be a show bottle spiritualist, just wearing a saffron dress and moving all around and cheating people. He doesn't want that. He wants us to work, and that work will liberate us. Our work can become cause of our liberation. Our work, our karma can get us out of the repeated cycle of birth and death. So for that, you don't have to go to the forest, or you don't have to go to Himalayas, or you don't have to do Ashtanga yoga system. Yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. No need of that. Do no need of working, going through all those austerities. Only thing which we can help us is whatever the work we are doing, regular work, day-to-day work. Whether you're a doctor, engineer, philosopher, uh, you're a cook, you're a husband, wife, father, mother, whatever the duty you're doing, that duty can become bhakti. That duty can become a devotion, and that can liberate us from the bondage of karma. Let me ask you some question. Are you all able to fathom or understand what Lord Krishna is telling here about karma? And do you all agree with this? Or if you have any questions about what Krishna has spoken as of now, please type it in your chat box. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, or if you just agree like ROG typed, he agrees what Lord Krishna is saying, that is also fine. Thank you, Arno. Thank you, William. Arno doesn't have question. Thank you, Ajit, for typing yes. Thank you, Tash. Thank you, Arshanaji, for agreeing upon this. So, our work is the cause of our headache. Our headache is because of the work, actually, all the duties and responsibilities, right? Thank you, Shashi ji. Thank you, Jyoti ji. Thank you, Ramachandran ji. Uh, However, our work, which is the cause of our headache, can also become the cause of our happiness. And that art of working, Lord Krishna is explaining it in more detail now in fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So he has already explained in third, fourth chapter, but now he's going deeper into the karma yoga, which is called as Nishkama karma yoga. This is the basis of our existence. The day we start working on Nishkam karma yoga, friends, our life will be stress-free. We become anxious many times, in our daily life. But if we work in the mood of a Nishkam Karma Yoga, performing work in Krishna consciousness, then all our anxieties will go down. I also get anxious. It is not that I do not get anxious. I also get worried many times. Like there are situations in my life when I am thinking about my family, about children, about finances, about so many things. We invest so many things, so many places. So I also worry many times. But the moment my mind starts worrying, then I remember what Krishna is telling in fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Nishkam Karma Yoga, and then I pacify myself. Oh, why should I worry? We all get trapped into this material world and this routine life. We all are always like that. One of your colleague will come and say something to you, or your family member will come, or somebody else will do something against you. Then you get trapped. Then you become nervous. You become anxious. Oh my God, what do I do now? Then I say, okay, let's read Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 5. What Krishna will say. I'm in trouble. What should I do? A few minutes back, somebody called me from India and saying that there is a problem. So now, as soon as I hear that, I was anxious. My God, what to do now? Yesterday, I got a news from one of my family that something happened. I said, my God, what do I do now? And then I read yesterday 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And today I'm reading 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita with all of you. So it brings you to the platform of understanding. As soon as the problem comes, you read one chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And your problem, it will not disappear, but the stress which is caused by that problem will be reduced, or maybe the stress will disappear. The problem will remain there, but you will be able to handle that problem in a better way rather than just struggling with the problem and in the stress. So I have this experience of many times that problems are not going to go away. As long as we are alive, problems are going to be there. But friends, um, the day we face a problem, we open the Bhagavad Gita and we say, okay, let me read one chapter today because I have a big problem today. I'm going to read Bhagavad Gita chapter 1, 2, 3, whatever you feel like. And friends, you realize this, and I have realized this, that your problem, stress which is caused by the problem will disappear. And then you will be able to will deal with the same situation with a different perspective. That will open a big horizon for you in your life. When you're stressful, you say something, you talk something, you think something differently than when you're stress free. So anger, anxiety, greed, all will disappear as soon as we follow the path of Bhagavad Gita. So let's learn what is Nishkam Karma Yoga. Are you all ready? Are you all ready for Nishkam Karma Yoga? Swati ji is saying yes. Nolin, thank you for sharing. From the time I started reading Bhagavad Gita, my life has changed completely. Wonderful. Thank you, Nolin. Thank you. Thank you, Tash. Thank you, Arun. Thank you, Arjuna. Thank you, Nolin. Thank you, Dolly. Thank you, Shashiji. Thank you, Ajitji. Thank you so much. Yes, let's jump into this. No human being has sadness or anger. Kruti Shahar, Ramachandran. Thank you, Ramachandran ji. Thank you, Kruti ji. So our idea is that we want to live happily. Our idea is to not to live sulkingly, not to live in depression, not to live with all this negativity in our life. Why should when I have this wonderful body, when I have these intact eyes, ears, nose, everything is there. I get enough food to survive. I have no other problem. Why should I be unhappy? Only way we become unhappy is because of lack of knowledge. And that is the knowledge Lord Krishna is telling us here. So Lord Krishna tells to Arjun, hey Arjun, you are saying that of sannyas, And the second choice you said is that work in devotion, which is better. So let me tell you about sannyas now. What do you understand by renunciation? What is renunciation? So Lord Krishna tells to Arjuna, 5th chapter, 3rd shloka, he says, Gneyasha nitya sannyasi yona dveshti na kankshati. So who is a renunciate? Who is a sannyasi? So Lord Krishna says, Gneyasa nitya sannyasi. Nitya means always, sannyasi means renouncer. So sannyas can be done always. 24 hours a day you can become sannyasi, even while doing your work. How? So Lord Krishna is saying, one who neither hates nor desires the fruits of his activity is known as always sannyasi, always renounce. So you do your karma, you do whatever you have to do. But then don't worry about the results. Do whatever you need and just leave rest to Krishna. That is called as sannyasi. Otherwise, you are not sannyasi. Further, he says, Niradvando hi mahabaho sukham bandha pramuchyate. So when you do that, then what happens? Niradvando hi mahabaho, dualities. Dvanda means dualities. Good, bad, rich, poor, black, white, all those, those are called dualities. Good days, bad days, good time, bad time. All this will disappear as soon as we start giving up all the results to Krishna. Hey Krishna, I have done this for you. Whether it is good or bad, I don't know. I have done it for you. That is my aim and objective. I have no other objective. So that way, then you become free from dualities, and then you can overcome material bondage and completely liberated. Oh mighty Arjuna. Sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Sukham. Sukham means happy. Sukham means all joyful. So once you become free from dualities, whether you tell me good or whether you tell me bad, it's all the same for me. Why? Because I'm not doing it for myself, I'm doing it for Krishna. So it is all Krishna's property. Bhagavad Gita is Krishna's property. We are just reading here. But whether somebody likes it or not, it is Krishna's property. Krishna has to deal with it. So somebody says, I didn't like your Bhagavad Gita class. Oh, that's good. It is all Krishna's property. You tell Krishna that you didn't like his Bhagavad Gita. So not to take anything personally, it's because we are doing it everything for Krishna, for his pleasure. So suppose you cook something and you cook it for service of Krishna. Oh, Krishna, I'm today preparing pizza for you, and you cook nice pizza. Or you cook nice samosa and you say, Krishna, all these samosas are for you. And then somebody takes that prasad and say, oh my God, there's too much salt in this. This is not good. This is not good. It's okay. I did it for Krishna. If you have anything, you tell Krishna. This is Krishna's thing. I'm not the one to take the credit. Or if you appreciate me, that's also Krishna's property. And if you do not like it, it is also Krishna's property. I am just a servant. I'm a mediator. I am the intermediate person. I'm just like a postman. A postman. If he's delivering a letter to you, now that letter may have a good news or bad news. Are you going to curse the postman for bringing the bad news to you? No, you can't curse a postman because postman is just the deliverer, right? Similarly, I'm just delivering here. I'm doing my karma, and whatever it is, it all belongs to Krishna. So he's the guy to look after it, like that. So in that way, we can always become sannyasi. Then Lord Krishna now is the age of instant. We all need instant noodles, instant samosas, instant pizza, instant dosa. Do you all like instant things? Yeah. If you like, just type chat yes in the chat box. If you like instant things, type yes in your chat box. This is the world of instant things. We all will instantly get connected with others. So we have a telephone now, cell phone. So instantly you get everything. So Lord Krishna is instructing Arjuna, hey Arjun, I'm going to tell you about instant yoga. Yoga means connection, right? Yoga means linking. And what is that linking? Linking of body, mind, intelligence with super soul, with Atma, with Paramatma. So Atma, even with connected with Paramatma, it is called as yoga. And then there are various steps of yoga. Ashtanga yoga, you follow rules and regulations, you do yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahar, all different types of yoga, kundalini yoga, power yoga, and laughter yoga, and so many different types of yogas, hatha yoga. But Lord Krishna is introducing an instant yoga. So what is he saying? He's saying to Arjuna in 5th chapter, 6th sloka, he says, Sanyasastu mahabaho dukkham apnut ayogataha. He says, hey Arjun, merely by renouncing all activities, yet not engaging in devotional service of the Lord cannot make one happy. But a thoughtful person engaged in devotional service can achieve the supreme without delay. Adhigachati. Adhigachati means he attains, and there was a word used in this shloka which I didn't type it here, just forgot to type it here. Na chirena. So Lord Krishna is saying, Na chirena adhigachati. So na chirena adhigachati means that you will get instant connection with Supreme. How? By engaging your work as a devotional service. Offering your work, offering your, whatever the karma you're doing, offering that to Krishna is instant yoga, instant connection. There is no delay. Fraction of a second you get connected with Krishna. Why? By offering your results to Krishna. Instantly you get connected. So you just do cooking, offer it to Krishna. You do talking, offer it to Krishna. Whatever you do, you offer it to Krishna. So Lord Krishna is telling to Arjuna that you work in devotion. One who works in devotion, who is pure soul and who controls his mind and senses, is dear to everyone. And everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled. So when we work in devotion, what happens? We do not have any desire to take credits. We do not become selfish when we work in devotion. When I'm doing it for Krishna's pleasure, I'm not doing it for my pleasure or my recognition or my name or my fame, or I want to get some money out of it. I want to do all this so that I can offer it to Krishna. So that is called purity. Purity means no selfishness. You are doing it because you love Krishna. You do it for the Krishna's love, service. And then you can control your mind also. You can control your senses also. Because somebody says something good or bad, you don't become too much happy, too much distressed. Because it's all good or bad. It's all for Krishna. So you can control your mind, control your anger, control your greed. And then everybody likes you because you are now peaceful. You are like a person to go. People will come to you and say, oh my God, if I'm stressful, I'm going to go to this person because he's such a cool and calm and quiet person. He will definitely help me. So everybody will start loving you as a person. And you will never get entangled in the results of karma because now you're doing it out of devotion, out of karma. Further, Krishna tells to Arjuna about divine consciousness in chapter number 5, shloka number 8 to 9. Krishna says, a person in divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving, about, sleeping, breathing, always know within himself that he actually is not doing anything. So we are doing all our karma, just like a regular person. One who does not have knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and one who has knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. One who doesn't know anything about karma, vikarma, akarma. One who knows everything about karma, vikarma and akarma. Both people are working. So I work in the hospital as a doctor, and one of my colleague is also working in the hospital as a doctor. So we both are serving patients. Okay. So now one person is serving patients because he wants to get something out of it and then maintain his family and enjoy something, senses and all those things. But then here I'm making some money and I want to use it for the service of my family as well as for the service of Krishna. So when I'm using this for the service of family and service of Krishna, that is one consciousness, and I'm using it everything for myself, nothing for others. That is another thing. So we both are working, both are working on the different consciousness. For example, two people are cooking vegetarian food. Suppose two people are cooking vegetarian pizza. So one is cooking for his own self and one is cooking for Krishna. Both are cooking, but what is the difference? Difference is in the consciousness. So it is the consciousness which is going to liberate us from the bondage. So the person in the knowledge will know that I am doing all this, but I am doing it for someone else. So that way we can become freedom from the bondage. That is a very, very important thing here. So Lord Krishna says that one who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results to the Supreme Lord, Brahmani adhya karmani sangam tyakta karoti yaha. He is unaffected by sinful reaction. Lipyate na sapapena. Papena means sinful reaction. Padam patram vambusha. As the lotus leaf is not touched by the water. All of you have seen lotus, right? Lotus grows in sometimes in mud also, and dirty places also. Like all water is dirty, but lotus looks beautiful. And on the lotus, if you put a drop of water, it might be a good water or bad water. The water will slide away. Water will not stay on the leaves of the water. It will just slide away, drip like that. Similarly, Lord Krishna is saying is that Brahmani adhya karmani sangam tyakta karoti yaha. So if you, Brahmani means to Krishna, if you start working your duty without attachment and surrendering all results to Krishna, then as the water cannot stick to the lotus flower, karma cannot stick to you. Karma cannot bind you. Karma will also slip away. You will perform your duties, but you will not be bounded by the results of karma. Nibandhyati. You're free from bondage. No bondage of good and bad. No bondage of happiness, distress. No bondage of ups and downs. No bondage of good or bad. Bondage causes problems. When you are bound, does anybody like to be bounded by a rope? Do you all want to be tied up with a rope? We all like to be free. India fought a freedom fight. They wanted to be free from British. So that way, we all like to be freedom. And what is that freedom? The freedom from the dualities, good, bad, upar, niche. We don't worry about it. We just perform our karmas as a sacrifice to Krishna, and that's it. And whenever your mind runs away from that, just open a chapter of Bhagavad Gita and read it. Krishna will bring you to the platform of spirituality. That is what whole life is. Everything belongs to Krishna. We are just like a caretakers. Who are we to take the credits of all? Krishna is the proprietor. Everything has to be engaged in the service of proprietor. We do not have to take all the credits. If I work at the hospital and I say, this is my hospital. Oh man, this is not your hospital. You are just a servant in the hospital. You can't claim this hospital as your own hospital. So you have to obey the laws of the person who owns the hospital, maybe a government. You obey the laws of government. Similarly, the whole world belongs to Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. Earth, water, air, fire, ether. Can you make air in the laboratory? Can you make apple in the laboratory? Can you make rice in the laboratory? You cannot. Can you make water in the laboratory? You cannot. Some people say I can make H2O, but H also you have to hydrogen also you have to get it from Krishna, right? So everything belongs to Krishna. So why to take credit? Just give it credit to Krishna. Then the life will be easy and happy. Otherwise, keep on suffering forever, right? So Lord Krishna further explains to Arjuna, hey Arjun, listen further. Yukta karma phalam tyaktva shantim apnoti naishtikim. A steadily devoted soul attains unadulterated peace because he offers the results of all activities to me. Unadulterated peace. Peace means happiness, just satisfaction. But then that can be adulterated also, which means that you are peaceful now because you got some material thing what you needed, but as soon as that material thing is taken away, your peace is taken away from you. You are peaceful because you have a good job, and as soon as you lose the job, the peace is gone. That is adulterated peace. There is a contamination there. You feel like this is good, but it is not good actually. But as you yukta karma phalam tyakta, you start acting in the devotion. Whether I have a job or I do not have a job, my life is to serve Krishna. Then that will give you a solid foundation. Then Krishna will also guide you from inside that, okay, do this, do that, and everything will sort out in your life. Okay. Further, Krishna says to Arjuna, ayukta karma karena phale shakto dibhanjate. Whereas the yukta means to engage. Ayukta means one who is not connected. So whereas a person who is not in union with the divine, who is greedy for the fruits, phale means the fruits. Phale sakto nibandhyate, he's greedy for the fruits of his labor, becomes entangled. If you want to become greedy, if you want to not offer anything to Krishna, then it is your problem. Now you are bounded with good, bad, success, failure, all this, and then all the problems will come to you. They will hunt you like a ghost hunting you. Failure will hunt you, or success will also hunt you. Happiness will also hunt you, and distress will also hunt you because you are now trapped. You are bounded, nibandhate, entangled. So you want to be free, then free from the karma phala. Do not take the credits, give the credits, offer everything for Krishna, the life will be fruitful. Otherwise, you will not be happy. Then what will happen? What changes will happen in your life when you become Nishkama Karma Yogi? The day you start performing this Nishkam Karma Yoga, your life will change. It will change for good. And then what will be the changes in your life? Do you all want to know about the changes in the life when we become Nishkam Karma Yogi? How many of you want to become Nishkam Karma Yogi? All you are with me? If you want to know about this, please type yes in your chat box. If you have any other questions, please type at this time so that I can understand that all of you are on the same page. Thank you, Tash. Thank you, Kruti. Thank you, William. Thank you, Ramachandran ji. Thank you, Sham. Thank you, Jyoti ji. I hope this Karma Yoga chapter is helping you. Thank you, Ripal ji. And if you want to share any of your realizations while you were learning Nishkam Karma Yoga, you can type in your chat box that this is really useful or this is philosophy and this is not practical. For me, I have practiced this and it is helping me a lot many times because I'm in stress. Everybody gets stressed out, right? Gandhiji, Mahatma Gandhi Everybody knows Mahatma Gandhi, right? He is a freedom fighter from India. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you so much. Freedom fighter from India, Rahul. Yeah, Mahatma Gandhi said that whenever doubts haunt me and whenever disappointments stare me in the face, and when I see not a single ray of hope on the horizon, I turn to Bhagavad Gita. So we all will find a situation in our life where we will get distressed, we'll get worried about so many things. So that time, then Bhagavad Gita will come. Bhagavad Gita is not about any religion. Bhagavad Gita is not about Hinduism. Bhagavad Gita is all about making our life stress free. We get out of this bondage and just move on to a better place rather than suffering here always. So here, Lord Krishna now going to explain about the changes happens in one's life when one becomes Nishkam Karma Yogi, when one starts performing activities according to instructions of karma, instructions of Bhagavad Gita, as explained by Lord Krishna in chapter 1 to 5. So, what is Krishna saying? That what will happen in your life? So, he says in 5th chapter, 18th sloka, Lord Krishna says, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Kavihastini. So, once you have this knowledge that there is a Paramatma within everybody, this cow, there is a Paramatma, there is a Paramatma within a child, there is a Paramatma lying in an elephant, there is a Paramatma within a dog, a Paramatma within everyone around us, all the living entities. Then you will start seeing everybody with equal vision. No discrimination. No discrimination at all. So whether you look upon poor or rich, everybody we think it is a part and parcel of God. And we treat everybody fairly rather than giving some more respect to somebody else and less respect to somebody else. We do that in our life. I see there are a couple of comments here. I'm just going to go through the comments before we proceed. Ripple is writing, normally I find myself at peace when I do work without expectation of results and the outcome is better than expected, maybe in line with the divine wishes. Thank you, Ripalji, for sharing your realization. Ramachandra ji is sharing, it is really useful if we practice. I undertake hospital seva on every Saturday for an hour, going to hospital, meeting the sick and accident person and talk to them and help them for last 4 years. Thank you, Ramachandran ji, for sharing your realization. Jyoti ji is saying how to apply this knowledge that we do all sacrifice and won't affect with good and bad things. Jyoti ji has question. So Jyoti ji is all about consciousness and practice. Abhyasa and Vairagya. Abhyasa is very important. Anything in the life, if you want to be successful, you need to practice. Those people who achieve gold medal in Olympics, actually, if you don't know about them, or you may already know about it, that people who achieve gold medal in the Olympics, every single day they practice 8 to 10 hours for years, like not 1 month or 2 months, like 4 years, 5 years. They're practicing every single day, every single day. So practice is very important in our life. It's not just going to be like, we cannot be like a Buddha, just sit underneath the tree and everything will go. No, it's not possible. For us, we need to practice. And what is the practice needed? So one practice needed is to read Bhagavad Gita every single day. Open a page of Bhagavad Gita, read it every single day. As you eat every day, as you sleep every day, similarly read Bhagavad Gita every single day. And should not be a day which goes without Bhagavad Gita. Is there any day when you don't eat or you don't sleep? Let's see. Jyoti, do you always sleep, or there is a day in your whole life where you didn't go to sleep for 24 hours? Huh? You always go to sleep, right? So similarly practice every single day. Not a day should go without reading Bhagavad Gita. I keep Bhagavad Gita in my car I keep Bhagavad Gita in my office. I keep Bhagavad Gita at my home. Wherever I'm going to go, I have a Bhagavad Gita, and I have Bhagavad Gita in my phone also. So whenever I get a chance, and whenever I need to read, 10, 15 minutes I have got a time, I'll open a page and read it. There's nothing, instead of reading a newspaper, why don't we read Bhagavad Gita? Right? Practice is very important. Without practice, nothing is going to happen. And then another thing is meditating on the teachings. Once you read, meditate what Krishna is saying here. How can I apply it? How can I meditate it? So that is going to help you out. So Jyotiji, does that make sense? Is that going to help you? I don't know. You have to tell me. This is how I do it. Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing it. She's saying yes. Perfect. So once we enter on the platform of Karma Yoga, and we are performing everything for pleasure of Krishna. So if I'm doing a patient care as a doctor, I'm serving him, but while serving this patient, actually I'm able to serve God now here. Now, if I'm cooking as a mother for the family, I'm saying, I'm able to cook this food so that Krishna will be happy, because Krishna is there within everybody of us. So in that way, we are going to see everybody with equal vision. That is called as Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastine. So in that way, Sunicha Eva Supakecha Pandita Samadarshina. Pandita means one who is in knowledge. He will see everybody with equal vision. Then further, Lord Krishna says, Na prashet priyam prapya no dvijet prapya cha priyam. A person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant. So when we are situated in Nishkama Karma Yoga, then we start seeing everybody with equal vision. At the same time, if you priyam prapya, priyam means you like something and you get it, or apriyam means you do not like it. You will be equal to that, because you say, I did it for service of Krishna. Sthira buddhir asamuddho brahmavid brahmani stitaha. This is very important. He develops study intelligence and he becomes unbewildered and he knows the science of God. So here, once we are situated in Nishkam Karma Yoga, we know that whom everything belongs to. Who is the owner of everything? Who is the proprietor of everything? I'm not the proprietor, I'm not the owner, I'm not the lord of everything. I'm just a servant here. So then your intelligence will become stabilized. And then you become steady. So sthira buddhir asamuddho. Sthira means steady. Intelligence becomes steady. So neither jumping up and down when we get something, people, they become very excited when they get success. And they break down, they cry, they lament, they become depressed when they do not get what they want. So that is called as unsteady, asthira buddhi. Asthira means not stable. And most of the people around us are unstable nowadays. And we are also unstable. I mean, I'm not here to judge anybody. The Bhagavad Gita is not for judging anybody. Bhagavad Gita is for yourself. I'm not going to use Bhagavad Gita and just start judging everyone. Bhagavad Gita is for myself. It is not for anybody else, right? So with Bhagavad Gita, I'm not going to judge that, his study intelligence is unsteady. I'm going to say, I'm not steady now. And then, asamuddho. Muddha means bewildered. Asamuddho means not bewildered. So you do not get bewildered. Somebody gives you a hard time also, you will keep your cool like that. So that is the way to achieve a sthira buddhi. Then Lord Krishna says, Once you start performing Bhagavad Gita or start utilizing this Nishkam Karma Yoga knowledge, which means doing everything for pleasure of Paramatma, Krishna, then you will start having a joy within yourself. What is Lord Krishna saying? He's saying in Bhagavad Gita, 5th chapter, 21st sloka, he's saying, Bahaya sparsheva ashakma vindanti atmani yata sukham. Bahaya sparsha. Bahaya sparsha means external sense pleasure. We become happy because of the external things. But when you start becoming happy from internal things, that is joy within. So then, once you are becoming Nishkam Karma Yogi, then we do not get attracted to external pleasures. But always we get pleasure in the trance, enjoying the pleasure within. So, joy of giving is much higher than joy of taking. A mother feels more satisfied when she feeds her children. She might stay hungry, but she will be more happy when her children are fed. That is called as joy within, joy of giving. So here, Krishna is saying that try to find that joy within by giving up your sense pleasures for pleasure of Krishna. Giving up everything in your life as a sacrifice. So giving up means performing everything with the consciousness that I am doing it for service of Krishna. That is called as Atmani Yat Sukham. Atmani means self, within. Sukham means happiness. You start enjoying within rather than without. So your joy is not dependent on within outside things, because now you are enjoying the process of sacrifice, process of giving. You are giving everything for pleasure of Krishna. So that is your pleasure. Your pleasure is not getting some credits. Your pleasure is not that I will be happy if people recognize me. I will be happy if I get money out of this. My pleasure is I am happy because I'm doing it for Krishna. So this is within rather than without. You understand? Does this is making sense, or is making too complicated? Is it okay? You are able to understand this principle? Joy within. Joy within means that giving, performing for the satisfaction of the Creator, the satisfaction of the Lord, the one who owns everything. Right? And it is, as Swati is saying, it is hard to apply, and it is a matter of practice. Practice, 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 practice. Whatever you do, practice. Practice will make you perfect. So if somebody try to affect you from outside, do not worry. Just start meditating on teachings of Krishna. Okay. Then further Krishna says this joy within can become unlimited. Actually, it is not limited. Yeah, it is not just for 1 second or 2 seconds. So how can you become unlimitedly happy? So Krishna is saying in 5th chapter, 21st sloka, he says, Sa Brahma Yoga Yuktatma Sukham Akshayam Ashnute. Akshaya. Akshaya means one which has no kshaya, means one which does not die. It is unlimited. Sukham Akshayam Ashnute. Ashnute means experience. So, Sa Brahma Yoga Yuktatma, the Atma which is united with Paramatma, the joy is unlimited. Sukham Akshayam Ashnute. In this way, the self-realized person enjoys unlimited happiness, for he concentrates on the Supreme only. So, I have seen when I go to India, I visit a place called as Vrindavan. I don't know whether many of you have visited Vrindavan, but in Vrindavan, there are so many poor people. There are so many poor people there. And there are many other holy places. I went to Alandi quite some time. I stayed in Alandi. My childhood also, I spent about 4 to 5 years of my life. I stayed with my grandparents in a place called Alandi. And then I visited quite some time. It's very near to Pune. If you get a chance, go there. There are also a lot of poor people. But these poor people also, when they are sitting in the temple, they are lining up for darshan. They are happy actually when they are seeing the Lord, when they are taking darshan. Why? That joy is from inside, that is not from outside. Because these people do not have enough money also. They do not have car, bungalow, what facilities we have. They do not have computer or cell phone, but they are happy because they are connected with the divinity. When you connected with the divinity, that joy is from inside. In Maharashtra, a lot of people travel, they're called Warkaris. Warkaris means they go on bare feet for hundreds and thousands of kilometers. Now they suffer, all the physical suffering, but inside they are happy. Why they are happy? Because they are enjoying unlimited happiness. So they walk for weeks together, morning to evening. Even if it is raining, there is no shelter, they don't care. They are just connected. So that is called as Sabrahma Yoga Yuktatma Sukham Akshayam Ashnute. So when people see those people who are walking bare feet, uh, they feel, oh my God, how much suffering they have. They do not have food. They do not. We are feeling externally, but they are inside. That is called as Sabrahma Yoga Yuktatma. So just try to feel from inside. Then you will feel unlimited happiness. Then further Krishna tells to Arjuna about this unlimited happiness. So Krishna tells Arjuna, hey Arjuna, you have to give up something, then you give up. I'm going to tell you something which you must give up. And what is that must renounce? That is Lord Krishna is saying is that you must renounce. If you really want to renounce, then Kama Krodha Bhavam Vegam Sayukta Sa Sukhi Naraha. He says, if one is able to tolerate the urges of material senses and check the forces of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this world. So if you really want to renounce something, if you really want to give up something, then here is one thing which you should give up. Kama, Krodha, Bhavam, Vegam. Lust, anger, greed, envy, all these enemies, we should give up. Lust, anger, and greed are road to hellness, highway to hellness. If you want to travel very fast to hell, be lusty, be greedy, and be angry. You will reach immediately. But if you do not want to go to hell, hell is here, because if you do not want to suffer, then don't be lusty, don't be greedy, and don't be angry. If you want to suffer, be lusty, be greedy, and be angry. So Lord Krishna is saying, Kama Krodhavam Vegam Sa Yukto Sa Sukha Naraha. So Sukhi Naraha. So one who can control this, he will become happy in this world. Further, Krishna says that Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. So now one thing is very important here, that always, 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 one who is Nishkam Karma Yogi, he will always be busy working for the welfare of others. People always work for themselves. They don't want to do anything for others. Everything for me. But Srila Prabhupada said once that our mind should be trained to think welfare of others. Why should I think bad about others? Para dukkhe sukhi. Para dukkhe sukhi means when somebody is unhappy, I am very happy. When somebody is happy, I am unhappy. That is called as jealousy, irsha. But the devotee who is connected with Supreme in Karma Yoga, Nishkam Karma Yoga, he will say, let everybody be happy. Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. That is the aim and objective of Nishkam Karma Yogi, devotee. Then further Krishna says to Arjuna, hey Arjun, I'm going to give you a peace formula if you really want to be peaceful. And this is the last shloka of Bhagavad Gita. So just stay back for 5 more minutes and we'll be done. I know we are shooting the time, our time is over, but just stay for next 2-3 minutes and we'll be finishing this Bhagavad Gita, 5th chapter. So Krishna says, Bhoktaram yagnatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suradam sarvabhutanam jnatva mam shantim rachati. So here Krishna is giving the peace formula. What is the peace formula? He says, Supreme Lord Krishna, He is the beneficiary of everything. Everything is belonging to Krishna. So, Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasam, everything is owned and operated by Supreme Lord. Yagna Tapasam, He is the enjoyer of all the sacrifices. Sarva Loka Maheshwaram, all the planetary system, everything belongs to Him. Suradam Sarva Bhutanam, He is situated in the heart of everybody. Animal, insect, birds. Jnatva mam shantim rachati. If you know this principle, that He is the owner, He is situated everywhere, He is the master, and in that consciousness, if you live, you will be peaceful. Otherwise, you will keep on suffering. So I'm just going to summarize chapter number 5 of Bhagavad Gita. What did it say? Work with complete knowledge of Lord as the proprietor of all. See everyone with the equal vision. Never get bewildered. If you get success, failure, it's all Krishna. I'm doing it for Krishna's pleasure. And in that way, you will enjoy unlimited spiritual happiness. You will be able to control calm, krodha, lust, anger, greed, enviness, all this, if you are working in the divine consciousness. And you will always be training yourself how to think of welfare of others if you work in Nishkama Karma Yoga. With that, I'm giving a pause here for 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. If anybody has any questions, you can ask me. If not, then I have some questions for you, maybe a few questions. Should we take quiz? Are you all ready for the quiz, or should we postpone it? I know we are done with the time, so I just want to have your opinion. Should we go ahead with the quiz just to summarize what we learned? Okay, perfect. So I see few people are saying yes, so let's go ahead. Which one of the following of the two is better? Renunciation of work or work in devotion? Which of them is better? Renounce the work or work in devotion? A or B? William is saying B, Shyam is saying B, Swati is saying B. Thank you, Madhufai. Arjuna ji is saying B. Absolutely, Ripal ji is saying B. Work in devotion is much better rather than renouncing the work, because it removes the bondage. Thank you, Anand ji. Thank you, Jyoti ji. Thank you, Zarna. Thank you for answering the question. Thank you, Ramachandran ji, Suresh ji. And just before I let you all, thank you all. Before many of you start logging off, those who are in Canada, next Saturday we will be meeting at 10:30. Those who are in India, the same time, 9 p.m. India time remains the same. Those who are in Canada, the time will change to 10:30 because the clock is changing 1 hour from tomorrow. So India people, the time for the next week is 9 p.m. the same time, but in Canada it will be 10:30. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, Swati. And okay, let's go further. Next question is, why Krishna conscious person is not affected by sinful reaction? He performs his duty without attachment. He surrenders result unto the Krishna. He engages himself in service of Lord, all of the above. Why? Person who works in divine consciousness is not affected because he works without attachment. He surrenders results. He engages himself in the service of Lord, all of the above. Shyam is answering D, Sonal, Swati, Archana, Jyoti, Ramachandran ji, Jarna, Shashi ji, Anand ji, Anjali ji, thank you so much. Ajit, everybody's answering D, and that is the correct answer. We are not affected by sinful reaction because we are. Thank you, Parul ji, thank you, Ripple, thank you, Dolly. Yes, so when we work in Krishna consciousness, when we say Krishna is the owner, I'm doing it for pleasure of Krishna, I'm surrendering everything to Krishna, I'm going to do my best, then we are not affected by bondage. Next question is, what Krishna says about attaining the peace. He is the ultimate purpose of all sacrifice. He is the proprietor of all the planets. Everything should be offered to his transcendental service. All of the above. So, what is the ultimate peace formula? Uh, Krishna is the owner. He is the ultimate sacrifice. He is the proprietor. Everything should be offered to service of Krishna. All of the above. Thank you, William. Thank you, Shyam. Thank you, Swati. Thank you, Parulji. Thank you, Jyoti ji. Thank you, Ramachandranji. Anandji. Thank you so much, Shashiji. Yes, absolutely. The real answer is D. He is the proprietor. He is the owner. We are just the servant. We are just here to serve. Suresh ji, thank you. Thank you, Jarna ji. Thank you, Dolly ji. Thank you so much. Now, the next question for you is, why do a yogi see everyone with equal vision? Because they are very learned, because they see Paramatma being present within everybody's heart, because they like everyone. None of this. A, B, C, D. Why do yogi see everybody with equal vision? Arjuna ji is saying B, because they see Paramatma present within everybody. Absolutely. Ripal ji is correct, Jyoti ji is correct, Jarna ji is correct, Swati ji is correct, Sonal is correct, Ramachandran ji is correct, Dolly is correct. Thank you so much. Kruti Shah, thank you. Thank you, Suresh. Thank you, Anand ji. Thank you, Shashi ji. Thank you, Parul ji. Thank you, Sham. Absolutely. So start seeing everybody. So who is a Pandita? Pandita is the one who can recognize Paramatma. Pandita is not one who can recollect like millions of shlokas or is very knowledgeable, but one who understands that there is Paramatma within everybody's heart and I should respect everybody, not to hurt anybody. Why should I hurt anybody? Why should I say something bad to anybody when I see that there is Paramatma within everyone? So the last question for today is this, that who among the following person neither rejoices after achieving something nor laments after losing something related to his body? A, the person who is very charitable. B, a person who is attracted to yoga. C, a person who has mystic power. D, a self-realized person. Very simple question, but very important question. Who is not affected? Sonal ji is saying D, Swati is saying D, William is saying D, Archana is saying D. And the self-realization here means that we all are Atma, body is temporary, our body is meant for service, and I should be engaged in service of Paramatma. Parul ji, Ripal ji, Suresh, Ramachandran ji, Anand ji, Jyoti ji, Dolly ji, Anjali ji, thank you so much. Thank you so much for participating today. And with that, I will like to say thank you, namaste to everybody. I pay respects to all of you, your Paramatma within your heart, and hope everybody enjoys the coming week. Wish you all a very happy weekend, and we'll see you all the next Saturday. Those who are in Canada, make sure you note the timing, 10:30, and those in India, 9 p.m., same time for India. Thank you, Shyama Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Swati ji. Thank you, Madhuri. Hari Bol. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ramachandran ji. Thank you, Dolly ji. Thank you, Shyam ji. Thank you, Nolan. Thank you so much. Thank you, Archana. Thank you, Suresh ji. Thank you. Thank you, Anjali ji. Thank you, Parul ji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Ripal ji. Thank you so much. Pranam to you as well. Thank you, Anand Prabhu. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed the session. Thank you, William. Hare Krishna to William also. And may God keep you all happy, healthy in this coronavirus time. Keep safe. Keep washing your hands. Use sanitizers, soap. Keep 6 feet distance. Use mask, and be safe. Enjoy the week. And during the week, keep a diary, journal to note down your realizations of Bhagavad Gita. Read one page of Bhagavad Gita at least a day. I would say read one chapter of Bhagavad Gita a week is very important because that will keep you fresh. So homework for you will be read chapter number 4 and 5 of Bhagavad Gita when you come next time. And we'll continue with our journey on chapter number 6. Oh, Nolan says her neighbor tests positive for COVID. My God, I wish them best wishes. Uh, Ramachandran thank you so much. We'll all take care and we'll see you again next week. Best wishes to all of you and all your family, neighbors, everybody get well soon if anybody's affected. Thank you so much, and I'm logging off from this session. We'll see you next week. Bye for now. Take care. Hare Krishna.